Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brandon again. Today I'm going to talk about my 14.5-inch clock. And you can see it right here behind me. This is the Dream Sky 14.5-inch LED wall clock, something like that. It's a clock. There's not a lot I can really say about this, so hopefully this will be a short video, but I'm doing a video on it because surprisingly enough, I get more questions about this clock than most of my other equipment in the gym. Whenever this shows up in a picture on Instagram or YouTube, there's always one or two people who ask me for the link for the clock. And when I say, hey, just shoot me an email or a DM, I get a lot more people that say, oh, hey, by the way, can I get that link too? So I figured I'd just make this video because it'll save me a ton of copy and pasting in my DMs and my emails. And if you want it, you can buy it. There will be an Amazon link. That's where I got this one from in the description box below. This is not a sponsored post. It's just something I got because I wanted a clock that I could easily read, which I can, given the size on this one, 14.5 inches diagonal, and also kind of matched my gym. You might recall previously, I had a similar clock. It was actually made by Accurite, which was an 18-inch one, but that one had really big bezel, so it's kind of like a fake size, just padding the size of that clock. And this clock at 14.5 is all clock. But that was a red one. And while it was nice, and I got the red because at that point in time, it was the cheapest one I could find, all the other colors were like $20 more, the red just started to drive me a little bit crazy, kind of like that Seinfeld and the Kenny Rogers Chicken episode, if you kids remember that show. So I wanted to get something that matched more of my gym, and that's one of the nice things about these LED clocks. There's a bunch of different colors out there. So this particular one, the 14.5-inch Dream Sky LED wall mountable clock, comes in white, blue, light blue, green, and red, and maybe another color or two. Again, I'll link it in the description box and comment section below. But this is the one I got, the white one, and I think it looks really good. I think it matches really well. And I like this one more than the other clock I had. Number one, not only because of the color, but I feel like just the actual light that comes out of it is much more clean. So this is much more sharper than the other one. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's just a basic clock, right? It tells you the time, which is great. It tells you the temperature, which is nice. And in fact, this one actually matches the same temperature as my Nest thermostat. So I do find it's pretty accurate. And it gives you the date. And it's big enough that even in a home gym, no matter where you are, you'll be able to see it fairly easily, which also is something that I like. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing that your phone will do anyway. So this is kind of a nice little aesthetic upgrade, if you will. And I say that because although this is a cheaper version, this one retails for $42.99. And I think all the colors of this one are $42.99, except for the red. At the time of this video, it's like $38.99. It's still not cheap for what it does. So this doesn't do any fancy timers. It's not Wi-Fi enabled. You can probably tell right here that I have this little covering for the wire because it does require AC power. It does have a battery backup, so if your power goes out and you have batteries in it, it won't have to be reset, which is always annoying. And if you kids remember VCRs and DVD players, and that was something that was always a pain in the butt whenever the power went out. This has that feature, but again, at the end of the day, it's not really necessary. So for 40 bucks, you can add something nice to your gym if you want to. But again, it doesn't do anything too fancy. There are nicer clocks out there, but they tend to be more expensive. I just wanted something that matched the design that I was going for, didn't break the bank, and looked good. And I think this one kind of checks all the buckets. And I think for a lot of you, it will too if you're interested. So again, I'll link this in the description box below if you're interested. I'll link the other one that I bought before, but a little bit of a disclaimer. Number one, it's 18 inches compared to 14.5, but it's kind of a fake padding of that size of that clock, and no one likes the fake size of clocks. Depending on what color you get, I think the red version of the 18-inch and maybe the white version are around $50 right now, but all the other colors are like $70 for, again, the 18-inch version. So it doesn't really price out very well when you compare it to this, which I think is the better clock, and it's more affordable in most cases. But like with most things, Amazon, the price does fluctuate a little bit. So if you're interested or you want to know about this clock, here it is. Or if you're here because I sent you here after you sent me a DM or an email about it, you're welcome. In the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.